Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. CeeChronicles here. I post fragrance related content on this platform and would very much appreciate you subscribing and joining the family. If you're returning, thank you so much guys for the continued support. I have Orientica Dynasty, guys. I promised to bring you this fragrance. I said if I can get my hands on it soon enough, I will certainly bring it. And what I'm going to do in this video, because I have reviewed Orientica's Victory as well as Orientica's Noble, is I am just going to give you my final thoughts on these two as well as this one to make the third one. But we're going to zoom mostly on the new one, which is this Dynasty, guys. I'm sorry if it looks weird. I ripped the paper off because I wanted to test it and know, how it vibes like. And of course, it sits in there, guys. This is Orientica's Dynasty or Dynasty. Is gonna depend on pronouns. I am going to spray it on this piece of paper and tell you my thoughts, but I already know, this fragrance because I have played around with it a lot. Disclaimer, guys, this range is potent, especially these two. I just had to get that one out of the way. If you're one of those people that say, I am looking for a beast mode fragrance, I want to save my money, I don't want a fragrance that will fizzle, I want compliments and stuff, you are certainly going to get them from this. I don't know what Orientica uses, but they have managed to nail a way of ensuring that their notes last and linger for the longest. This opens, guys, with a burst of what feels like citruses. It also feels fruity to an extent. I'm not sure whether the fruitiness in here is berries or something like that, but there is a fruity sweetness to this in the opening, but it also highlights that citrusy feel. Okay, so do expect a fruitiness that's going to give you a sweetness, but then leading to like a bergamot, lemon accord. It does feel now as though it's opening up to some woods, perhaps a vetiver, and spices. Feels as though it has a good use of LME. And LME in this is, of course, adding a citrusy weight to it. Besides the bergamot, it's adding a citrusy weight to it, but it's deeper than that. It feels lemony. It feels like it's honeyed in the lemonness. So there's going to be a sweetness, a freshness, a balsamic feel, about this fragrance. And some might even say it has an underlying smokiness, but I wouldn't take this and class it under smoky fragrances. But I'm just saying the way that LME ties everything together in this fragrance gives you wafts of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And the sweetness feels very waxy there. It feels very honeyed, in the mix. I would say it gives me a DNA that aligns mostly with masculine scents, but there is a sweetness in here that makes it such that even women can wear it. And when I say masculine, for those who may care to know about the ratio, I'm going to say maybe 60%. And that is because of how it highlights, guys, that citrusy feel about it. And remember when I came with this last week, I was talking about how this one is also citrusy and cologne-y. This one is citrusy and cologne-y. This one is citrusy, but doesn't give me cologne-y vibes. However, I think the inclusion of the vetiver as well in this kind of makes it lean a little bit masculine, just a little bit, 60% if you will, but it is certainly on the sweet side, fruity side. Fruity as in, now I think I'm also getting like, some berries there, raspberry, pink berries, perhaps even blackberry, that sort of thing. So that is the DNA makeup, guys, of this fragrance, but it's super, super loud. A little goes a long way. I wore this the other day and it ended up having me in a push and pull, because when I try out a fragrance, first I go all in, and then if it means I must change the clothing and go slower, that's what I do. I wore this on skin. I could smell it presently for 6-7 hours, and even way after that there was wafts off. So this is a very active fragrance. This is a beast mode fragrance. This is a fragrance that's going to be favored by those who like unapologetic scent. If you are one that wears fragrances for compliments or to stand out, this is certainly going to, be a fragrance that you will love. I am not sure whether this one has got the note of ginger, but there is something here I'm perceiving as spicy, gingery, even fizzy there. But as I said, it does feel as though it's mostly, you know, a honeyed, citrusy thing going on in this, working together, of course, with sweetened berries. And yes, given a DNA profile that could probably work better in cooler weather, though it has a citrusy thing. Okay, I think it is that longevity thing I was talking about, that, you know, Orientica has got this thing where they are able to tie whatever juice they're using and ensure that the wearer gets the most of it. So because of that, in as much as it does give me, you know, a citrusy thing, where it's on a citrusy bed the whole time, it has, you know, that longevity enough for me to say, or to perhaps say this would be a great citrus for cooler weather. Okay, cooler weather than it would be for warmer weather. Now, in conclusion, I said I was going to give you a you know, my final thoughts on the 3 fragrances, which is this one we've spoken about, Victory. Okay, Victory is a fragrance that is very soapy, you know, to my nose. It kind of feels like you just had a well-needed shower, and you were very generous with your shower gel, and that shower gel is scented in something like lavender, or even a loud aromatic scent, or even a loud citrusy scent, that sort of thing. It's very vivid, you know, in that shampooy accord, soapy accord, but also super long lasting. Another one I had to wash off at some point because it was doing too much. This also has that masculine accord, you know, to it. And if I may compare the two, I would say this is more masculine. This one, the Victory, is more masculine tone to my nose than this. This you could get away with purchasing for a woman, and they would love it because of that sweet berry accord that this one has. But this will be okay for a woman that is accustomed to and doesn't mind their fragrance, you know, taking almost like a masculine cologne vibe direction and that soapy direction. This has also been compared to a YSL. I've forgotten which YSL, but the YSL, I think it's YSL Y for men. There's been comparisons of people saying they find similarities in this. I don't have that fragrance, so I'm not here to compare that. I'm just here to best explain what it's doing. And if you want further or in-depth information about what it's doing, then you can check out the dedicated review of it. Of the 3, this Royal Noble is going to be the safest for the ladies out there, in as much as it comes in a square bottle. Orientica has given us round bottles, and now they've given us this. And these environmental sugar kind of look like they're the sort of bottles that maybe men or like more. So this, in as much as it's bottled in a same square bottle, that kind of gives me or makes me feel as though this is probably a line that's going to be targeted for men. This is more on the unisex side, aligning more with the female nose than it is with a masculine nose. There's a softness to this fragrance, there's a fruitiness to this fragrance coming from the pear. There's also that mandarin and a gentle sandalwood in this. So generally it is a soft scent, giving you notes in careful doses, not enough to push anything, right? It is long lasting, but I'm saying the composition in itself, to my nose, interprays as soft. It's not a composition that will have you in a pull and push and pull, even if you overspray this. The sandalwood is there, but it's adding like a creamy weight to everything. And the florals, which is the rose, jasmine, and some of the white florals that they have used in this, do not take center stage. So it just becomes a fragrance that gives you a bit of everything: spicy ginger, gentle florals, you know, gentle woods, that sort of thing. And I had said it in the full review of this, that this does feel like a fragrance you would like if you like that Louis Vuitton Stellar Times. Kind of feels like the sort of thing that you would like if you loved that Stellar Times. So to me, this is going to be the no-brainer one if you're purchasing for a lady. And then this one is going to be the no-brainer one if you're purchasing for men, because of that soapy, shampooy shower gel thing that you get from it. And then Dynasty is certainly right there in the middle, unisex, men and women will love this fragrance. If a woman starts off feeling some type of way with this fragrance, it will probably draw them in. You know, it's like acquired because of that sweetness. It keeps you wanting to sniff yourself, you know, when you wear it. So yeah, guys, that is what I can say about these three. If they drop another one, I am going to certainly bring it here because it does look like Orientica is dropping fragrances. So if they have another surprise square one along the way, I will certainly bring it here. I would first highlight the new release and then group them together and tell you my thoughts. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications, guys. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Oh, and this one is not yet available on various websites, but you can buy it directly off the Orientica website, in case I didn't say. Of course, it's going to filter in, but if you want to smell it ASAP, then you can certainly purchase it directly off the Orientica website. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.